Well, hey there, it's Catherine from CatherinePooler.com. In this video, we're going to make a really cute card with a man with a bag stamp set. We've seen this used in many ways, including the way it was intended. The hat, the beard, and the sentiment kind of taking the place of a Santa face. How cute is that? So I went ahead and cut out a bunch of hats and beards. I like to do this a lot, just to have pieces like this on hand, so then it's really easy just to grab and color and then adorn your projects with little cutouts like this. So coloring this, I'm using Twilight, which is a really light gray, and my blender pen. I did die cut or stamp and die cut these on watercolor paper. And using watercolor paper allows me to use a little bit more water when coloring. So if I'm using regular cardstock, it won't take water as well and it will start to pill if you go over it too many times in one space. Especially when I'm using red, I want to be able to have the freedom of going over it a bunch of times in one place to keep darkening up the red color. So I felt like watercolor paper was a really good choice for this. So I'm coloring in starting out with Rockin' Red and just concentrating a little bit darker color around the edges and around some of those circles just for some highlighting and shading. I'm not a watercoloring or coloring expert, so this is pretty basic, but it works for me. And I'm using peppermint scrub to color in the circles here. I got ink on the lid just by giving a really gentle squeeze on my ink pad. You do want to be real careful with that because I have cracked a lid before, so just a gentle squeeze. You can also take an ink refill. You can just do a drop in the lid and get ink that way, or maybe you have like an acrylic block or a slick surface that you can dab your ink pad onto and get a coloring palette that way. Lots of different ways you can use your ink pads to color. And this is a blender pen that I'm using. It's basically a clear marker, so I can go into my color, I can color with it, and then I can scribble off on scratch paper until my tip runs clear, and then I can go into another color. So I really love working with these pens. You'll see me use them a ton. So I'm just working on the various hats, giving really simple shading. And also when you use the Rockin' Red, which is a very vibrant party color, along with Peppermint Scrub, which is a muted, sophisticated color, the Peppermint Scrub has great undertones, so it also helps give the shaded look. So that's a great way to use your party and spa inks in conjunction with each other. So wherever the fur on the hats would be, I'm adding in that Twilight just to give some shade so that it's not stark white. And then how about some glitter on those hats? So I'm using the two-way glue pen. I'm just dabbing it onto wherever that fur is. And then I'm dipping it into my little container of glass slipper glitter. It's by Wow, and it's awesome. And it is perfect for pretty much every single project. So you need to make sure you have at least one jar. I probably have 12. How cute are these hats and beards? I love them. So fun. Okay, so postage stamp dies. I have been using these like it's going out of style lately. I love making frames and then making shaker cards out of them. It just makes me happy. So I take the two largest frames, or really you can take any of the frames in the set, and stack them on top of each other, run them through your die cut machine, and you have a frame. I'm taking a piece of acetate and I'm just gluing it right on there. And then the trickiest part for me is getting my adhesive. I use 3M mounting tape. I get it on Amazon. It's pretty cheap over there. Well, it's not really that cheap, but it's a giant roll. You get a ton, and Amazon has a decent price. So I cut it really thin strips, just do it all the way around the perimeter. And this one I doubled up. So I did two high. And then I'm going to take that piece that came out when I die cut, and I'm just going to stamp with Fiesta Blue and Grass Skirt, Believe, and then those cute little images, those circles with the polka dots around it. How adorable is that? And then, well, let's do some red as well. So just an open circle just for some extra added oomph and fun. And then let's use these hats and beards for shaker elements in this shaker card. I was really excited about this idea, so I hope you guys like it as well. So I'm going to add in some hats and beards, and then I'm also going to add in some sequins. So the first thing I'm going to do is just adhere the Believe piece onto a card front, and then I'm going to put in my beards and hats. And then I'm going to use Tinseltown sequins. They were from our holiday release, and it's a gorgeous mix of silver with some holographic sequins in there and also some flat or matte sequins. It's a really gorgeous mix, and it's going to go on all sorts of projects. And then I'm just going to add my shaker frame piece right on top, and boom, that's it. Pretty easy when you break it down into the different steps. And I hope you're inspired. If you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. We do lots of videos over here on the channel, and I hope you join us again. Thanks so much.